A company out of Atlanta that went on Shark Tank as Cycloramic. They had the iPhone that used the buzzer, and you ran this app on it, and it just turned around and did a panoramic version of the phone, took panoramic pictures. Well, they changed the format of the iPhone, which is great. This is a great lesson for entrepreneurs, right? So this guy came in with this really cool app, worked with an iPhone 5, and it just turned around and take panoramic pictures, and then stitch them together, and it was a cool picture. Well, so I give him $250,000, I think, for 20% of the company or 25% of the company. Not 4 months later, Apple changes the iPhone, and it's got this like rounded thing underneath, and we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? But the guy was smart. And one of the things I always look for companies coming in is, what's your unique advantage? What is the one thing you have that differentiates you from other companies? And for this guy, the product was interesting, but as I said on the show, the ability to program video and use what became computer vision was a unique skill that was hard to find. And so we worked with him and actually worked with him to bring in another CEO, and they used that same technology to be able to scan cars. So now if you go to websites like Carvana to buy a car and you see how you can turn the car around just right there, that started with their software. And the guy's name is Bruno. So Bruno, we just sold his company for $22.5 million.
If you really want to be successful, you're going to make sure that you take advantage of each and every opportunity in each and every second of your day to make yourself become as more successful as you possibly can. You don't want to sit around doing absolutely nothing with your time. You want to constantly be productive and constantly pursuing your goals every single day. You see, everybody's given 24 hours in a day, and it depends on how you use those 24 hours is what really will determine your success. The people that you believe have made it and are truly successful in life have taken advantage of each and every hour in their day. They utilize their time to the utmost of their ability, so that way they know they are constantly being productive and constantly taking steps to become more successful day in and day out. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen over time, and that's what you really want. Because if you're putting a lot of time into something, you want to make sure that it's going to pan out well for you, not just fall flat on its face. You're going to make sure that you're putting all this time and energy and effort in to make sure you're going to get the best out of yourself, so that when you become successful, you'll be able to look back and see all this hard work that you've done and put all this energy and time into, and look back and discover how much all of that was worth, because you made it and you finally are successful and you put in all the time and energy and such in order to be at this place, and you'll be able to look back and discover that all that was truly worth it because now you are successful.
With a lot of new technology over the years, it starts off as something that people are curious about, it's curiosity, and then businesses look at it and they're not quite sure how to deal with it. And so it becomes a checklist item. We don't want to miss something, right? So let's make sure that we've got it covered. And so with agencies and big brands, you're starting to see that right now, right? Where they're like, okay, let us show you how you can implement Alexa and voice activation and voice purchasing, be available so you're compatible with Show, and how people can reach it so they can watch things. And so I think that makes sense from an agency perspective, and why you're starting to see things there. And the internet and streaming and HDTV, and when there's a lot of different choices, it's hard to stand out. But you've got to understand, and you have to be there early in when you're creating content, because even though you might not get a lot of traction early on, you get the strongest understanding because there's not a lot at stake. And so we're starting to see artists become a lot more active, where they've created scripts, they've created keywords that are out there that allow people just say, play this artist, do this, and they're telling their fans to do that.
It is and it isn't, in that I never visualized myself as a creative guy, and I always felt that there were a lot of people more creative than I was, but I always felt that technology could radically change production and distribution. And so my partner, Todd Wagner, actually wanted to do the producing and from the creative side and get involved with creative people. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to handle the creative side, I think we can change the way movies are created and distributed, and television as well. And so that's what got us into HDNet and got us into 2929 and Magnolia Pictures. And we've always looked at problems, or looked at the way things always were done and said, can we do it better? We weren't going to be beholden to the old ways or the way they've always been done, and it's paid off.
All those companies are profitable. Same thing you did, man. You just got to grind. There's going to be look, let's just say you're in a disadvantaged community, right? The beautiful part, even though all this shit is going on, right, is there's there's so many more opportunities in disadvantaged communities, urban communities, because people are more cash driven, right? They're more open to dealing with what's in front of them, as opposed to using traditional institutions for things. And so, like Damon John from Shark Tank started off selling t-shirts on the corner, right? You sold out of the trunk of your car. That's the template, right? Whatever you've got, find something you can be good at. And if you can be good at it, try to figure out how to be great at it. And if you can be great at it, find somebody who'll pay you to do it, right? And it doesn't matter if you're making t-shirts. It doesn't matter if, like, one of the things I always tell kids, and I say kids 16 to whatever, right?
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.